Hey guys, welcome back to Zephyrco. I'm Fox.
I'm Phoenix.
I just want to start off by saying I'm sorry we haven't put out a video in like what, a week? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
We're gonna try and get back to like an everyday 1-2 video a day thing. Get a little bit more serious.
We're also gonna try to show our faces and our bodies, and so you guys know who we are.
All right. So first off, if you have any questions, this is part 2 of Metalfoe FA deck that we were doing.
The one that he took to Lenexa.
Yeah, the one that I took to Lenexa. This is the revision of the first deck we posted about 2 months ago, a month ago.
Yeah, 3 months ago. Which didn't get the 150 likes for you to take it, but he decided to take it anyway.
I like to be fun and I like to support our viewers.
Yeah, plus he also wanted to try to top with it. I mean, it's a really good deck. It played really well. It just, he didn't know the deck very well at the time.
The second thing is, the reason we don't have an actual deck profile where we're going through the cards is we ended up selling Electrum before we made this video. So we can't really make a full actual video. We also had to borrow some cards in order to play it.
Yeah.
And we don't have every card we need.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go ahead and get into the deck profile. No, I didn't top. I actually did really, really poorly. I'll tell you how my event went at the end of the video if you want to stay tuned. So let's go ahead and start and get into the tech choices. The first tech choice that I wanted to play this super, super badly, and that is Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser. Now, at first, Phoenix here told me he didn't like it. He actually did like it, but he didn't like it at more than 2. That's because it didn't do much other than special summon. I wanted to play it at 3 because it's special summoned. You special summon it in order to go into an Electrum play. You can use it to go into a Baguska, Abyssal, as you see down there. And then the second thing is, if you notice my extra deck, I have a Jinzo there. Games 2 and 3, I can special it to tribute off Jinzo. And the third thing is, it's also it's a link summonable card, I guess, if you want to put it. It's a link material.
For Electrum.
So that's basically the reason I ran it. The other thing is the fact that it gives itself an extra 1100 attack when it's the only monster on the field is actually pretty insane. And even though I didn't do too well, the duels that I did do well on, the attack actually came in handy. That's about it for that card for me. What do you think?
I didn't like it to begin with, but I ended up just thinking about it, and when I thought about it, I just thought about it as like Hero Lives as a free monster. So I mean, I play Hero Lives at 3 in my hero deck, so why not play another card technically like a Hero Lives? I mean, it can get MST'd, or Twin Twister or Ghost Ogre, but I mean, you can Ash a Hero Lives, so I mean, pretty much the same thing like a Hero Lives, so I'm okay with it at 3.
Okay, on to the next card choice, Astrograph Sorcerer. This card, I honestly feel like if you're a Magician player...
Should have been banned.
If you're a Magician player, if you're a Metalfoe player, if you're most like Pendulum deck players, you should probably be playing this card. And that's the simple fact that if a card is destroyed, not just a Pendulum or not just a monster, if a card is destroyed, you can special summon it from your hand, and then you can add one monster that was destroyed this turn from your deck to your hand. And you do have to choose. I don't think that necessarily targets, but you do have to choose, and that's while the effect resolves.
It's kind of like you have to tell your opponent what you're adding pretty much before you actually add it, because I don't know. It's like
it's weird.
You have to choose it before actually adding it, but it doesn't target, so.
Okay.
It's weird. But if you only have one monster destroyed, you have to actually only add that one monster. So you actually have to add the only monster that was destroyed this turn.
Okay, starting out the regional, I honestly didn't know this card's full effect. I knew that you could destroy itself to special summon targets or put it on the Pendulum scale, and I knew that you could special it and add a card, except I didn't know that it had to be a card that was destroyed this turn. So halfway through the tournament, I had someone tell me that, and that kind of slowed down some of my plays. It didn't really change much since, Luster, Bismuth, most Metalfoes destroy things. But it did kind of hurt a little bit. And that's basically it. You should be running Astrograph Sorcerer. Another thing is special summoning. Say you pop a field spell with your Metalfoe, and it resolves, and then you can set a card, and then you can search out your level 1 tuner, and special the... you can special summon the Astrograph Sorcerer, and then you can normal the tuner and go into something like an Omega or like a... is it...
Ignister?
Yeah, Ignister.
When I played Pepe.
And then the same kind of goes for the next card. Chronograph Sorcerer does pretty much the same thing that Astrograph Sorcerer does.
But better, in my opinion.
I guess not the same thing. When it's, instead of searching a card when it's summoned, you get to special summon one card from your hand. So a typical play with that when you involve the FA engine is you destroy anything on your field that can be destroyed with a Metalfoe card. And then, so I guess the best example would be the field spell again. So say Bismuth target your field spell, destroy, set a Metalfoe card. Chainlink 1, you want to activate your Chronograph Sorcerer. Chainlink 2, you want to activate your field spell. Chainlink 2 resolves, you add your level 1 tuner. Chainlink 1 resolves, you special summon Chronograph Sorcerer. Chronograph then special summons your level 1, and then you can search another field spell. And then you can Synchro Summon into Ancient Fairy Dragon and activate your field spell. And that's when you use Ancient Fairy to destroy your field spell to add, most of the time you want to add City. and then use whatever field spell destroyed from your grave to add your Hang On Mock. Um, that play was actually pretty powerful, and I mean, it didn't win me games because unfortunately 2100 attack Dark Claw that it requires more than one card to make.
2700 attack Dark Claw.
Well,
yours 21.
Yours was 27.
Mine was 27.
Mine was a 2100 attack.
Dark
Even
Claw.
though it was unaffected by other monster effects that were lower than its level.
21's a little low in attack base.
Lower than even though it was unaffected by other monsters. Yeah, basically what he said. 21's low attack based.
It's hard to get around Dark Claw.
At the end of the regional, I actually considered putting in the one that you activate it to give your monster 2 more levels, and then I realized that was a bad decision because of the same reasons that we came across for not running FA Pit Stop, or not just FA Pit Stop, but FA Test Run. You don't want to. You actually really don't want to run FA Test Run in this deck either, for the simple fact that it's going to be dead a lot.
Unless you run a pure build, I just think a pure build would be not as dead because you're going to always have Metalfoes, and in a pure build of Metalfoes, you run like 3 of everything, in my opinion.
Okay.
But since it's not a pure build, FA Test Run wasn't really that good because you won't actually have an FA on the field all the time, so it could be dead a lot of time.
For the last reason of Chrono Sorcerer, you play it to summon your Time Gazer, you get a free summon, you basically get a free Electrum. You don't need your Electrum to get off, but once you do get your Electrum to get off, it gives you a pretty good tempo, and it's just nice to play with. On to the next card, FA Auto Navigator. You see it at 1, I honestly kind of wanted to play it at more than 1 once I had finished playing most of my duels. Even though it's a level 1 and you can't Pendulum Summon it, you really want to see it in most hands because you get to search out your field spells, you get to pop things with that, you get more searches, and the fact that it's a tuner gives you just this insane capability with all of the pendulums. And it also special summons itself back from the graveyard. And like I said, the Chronograph Sorcerer play was pretty insane. Other than that, that's all I have about FA Auto Navigator.
He could have pendulum some of it if he took the idea that I had, but he ended up not doing
Wrong. Hey, well, not the same turn.
No, yes, you could have.
No, it said dark.
No,
Only.
when it uses the pendulum effect, it's dark.
Yeah.
When you normal summon, you can still pendulum summon anything else.
Huh.
Yes.
So he's talking about the Dark Worm thing.
The dark worm, when it's you can special summon it from the graveyard to control no monsters, pretty much like an Abyss Actor, but from the graveyard. And when you use the pendulum effect to place another one to your pendulum zone, you have to only pendulum dark monsters. But when it's summoned, you can add a well, I don't remember the freaking card's name, Infinity, and you can pendulum summon anything. It doesn't have the restriction on the monster adding effect. It's on the pendulum effect, I believe.
So basically what he's saying is anybody that wants to try out the Dark Worm Infinity Gate combo, definitely try it out. We didn't actually try it out. We put theory, and then I thought that it did something that restricted you, and apparently it doesn't.
Nope, and he could have also done the FTK with it as well.
But yeah, there's that. Next is Hang On Mob. We kind of went over that. It's a tower. It's not a towers per se. It's unaffected by cards that are lower than its level.
Monsters, not cards.
Monsters are lower than its level. And once it's level 7 or higher, Dark Law, your opponent banishes all cards that would be sent to the graveyard.
Very weak Dark Law.
Very weak Dark Law. You want to. Well, I mean, if you get a level 9, it's actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
If you get a level 9, it's insane.
Or
But you have to be able to get it to level 9. On to the next card, because I don't feel like we need to talk about Hang On Mock too much. Luster Pendulum.
Luster Pendulum.
Basically just a free special from Ignister if you need it. Also, you can combo it to destroy something like a Bismargear to search your Astrograph, Chainlink 1, make your Astrograph play, Chainlink 2, make the Bismargear, so you protect your Astrograph from something like a Strike.
Or an Ash.
And then, of course, you wanted to try and get another tuner to your field, because you're not always going to be able to use that level 1 to summon. Honestly, you probably can if you decide to play 3 of the level 1 tuner and just know none of the Luster, but I think the Luster's pretty good with the Astrograph. Phoenix?
I played Pepe when Pepe was out. Yeah, I love the card, so I'm okay with it. There's nothing bad about the card in my opinion. You can link someone with it. It doesn't have a restriction with the link summon, so you can link someone whenever you want with it. But, I mean, Xyz, Fusion, and Synchro, you have to do it for a True Draco, or not True Draco, but Draco card. Blah, blah, blah.
Okay. Next card, Metalfoe Bismargear. I love this card, and at the beginning of this regional, the judge had me super excited because this card said, I can dodge Drill and Lock Break. The way the judge ruled it is, if you chain any card to anything that was searched, so say you activate Rhoda, your opponent doesn't respond, you decide to chain MST to target the Rhoda, the MST resolves destroying the Rhoda resolves adding a level 4 warrior. Your opponent can't draw and lock because the last card in the chain was an MST.
Or Ash you, I believe. If they don't have, they didn't respond, they can't Ash you.
And I think he said something along the lines of the last thing to happen had to have been the draw. And I guess technically it was the last thing to happen, but that's just how he ruled it. So considering how he ruled it,
I think the first thing that had happened would have been the draw, I thought.
Something like I think you're the first thing.
The last thing that happened was the search. If he did a chain link, it would have been draw and lock wouldn't have. Yeah,
It-
something. It
complicated ruling.
It
But
really was.
basically-
We'll get into more depth on a different video about it.
But basically, because he said this, I realized you could go Electrum, target your Bismarck gear, and then once the chain resolves and you add back an Astrograph if your Astrograph's in the extra deck, you can go Chain Link 1, it has to be Electrum because he's mandatory. Chain Link 2 Astrograph, Chain Link 3 Bismarck gear.
Can't get Ash. Well, if you did Ash, you had to Ash the Bismarck gear.
Yeah, so Chain Link 3 is Bismarck gear, you can't Ash mid-chain, and since they're all ignition effects, you get to make that Chain Link.
The reason why you can't do it is because he had prayer priority and they all have to be at the same time.
Well, they're ignition effects.
I know,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
why.
saying. They have to be all at the same
Trigger,
time.
trigger, it's
Trigger
not
effects.
ignition, I'm saying that wrong.
Trigger effects.
So,
Get triggered.
of course, yeah, get triggered. Of course, they have to either Ash the Bismarck gear or not Ash anything at all. The second thing is, because Bismarck gear doesn't add until the end phase, they can't drop the Drill Knockbird right there, so you're going to get your search right off your Astrograph, and you're going to get a draw off your Electrum, and your opponent can't do anything about it. That's basically why I loved it. The second thing is, anytime I destroy a field spell with this card, and it felt great, because if I got Ghost Ogred, who cares? I'm going to get a search during the phase. I probably have another Metalfoe in my hand most of the time anyways, because I run a high count. You kind of have to run a high count. And it's just overall probably the best card in the deck. Don't run this card at less than 3. It's insane. However, I would recommend trying to find a better scale ratio. You want more lower scales in your deck. I ran a little too many high
That's
scales.
what I said to begin with.
That's
but
exactly
you
what I
didn't
said.
listen.
Next card is Stargazer. You run this to summon off of Astro.
Also known as Gemini, not Gemini. No, Gemini Garnet, right?
Gemini
Garnet, dead card in hand.
I mean, it's not dead in hand.
It is, it's level 5.
It's
I'd rather
not
draw
as
level
good in
3.
hand. It's not as good in hand.
I'd
but
rather
it's
draw
not
level
dead in
3.
hand.
You can normal summon level 3. You can't normal summon level 5.
Time Gazer, summon off Chrono. We got into that. Next is 3 of the Metalfoe's Gold Driver.
I really think the Metalfoes we really don't have to get into deep depth with because they're kind of obvious.
Yeah, you run Metalfoes.
You run Metalfoes. They
Oh,
pop cards.
I will
Set
say-
cards.
I will say real quick that I did like the fact that it was level 4, so I could combo it with my Abyss Actor Curtain Raiser, and I can combo it with my FA Hang On Moth. And also, since it's a level 4, if I activated City, I could combine it with a level 1 tuner, and I can synchro into a level 7, because the City gives it 2 levels, so that's 4 plus 3 is 7. So that's why that was good. Stealing, Metalfoe. Silvered, Metalfoe. I did want to play more Volflame. I know I said
Isn't
you want...
Flame level 1? Or is it rank? It's 8, right?
It's a scale 8.
Scale 8.
And the reason I wanted to play more Volflame is because it's a level 7 Pendulum, which made summoning Ignister and Omega so much easier with a level 1.
We are so stupid.
Why?
You could have ran Vortex Dragon.
I probably could
Odd
have.
Eyes Vortex. Level 7 and the level 7.
Oh gosh.
You could
Yeah.
have ran...
Don't be done like us, guys. Run Odd Eyes Vortex.
Yeah. Yep. If you
Especially
have
since
a
you get
rank
to pop
7...
it off of a metal.
Yeah, if you have a rank 7 Xyz, run... What is it? Absolute Odd Eyes one.
Run Odd Eyes Absolute Zero.
Destroy it.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
Odd Eyes
not
Absolute.
It's absolute.
Odd Eyes Absolute, and then Odd Eyes Vortex, and then
Yeah.
you basically get a free
negation.
So that's another tip for this deck if you want to change it up. If you have anything you want to change about this deck is all theory right now. This isn't perfected either. I didn't really get a lot of time between school, work, and then I had to try and spend time with my girlfriend. I didn't want to ruin that. It annoys him quite a bit.
It really does, because I spent so much time... He tells me to spend so much time on Yu-Gi-Oh! So much time, and he doesn't do the shit that I do.
Well, I've kind of picked up. I want to try and get my invite. I haven't gotten it yet.
I got my first invite.
I haven't got my invite this season.
He's got one, and it was a 4th place.
I was second.
Second place. My fault. I can't remember. It's a long time ago.
Pure Magic Specters. I never posted the deck profile on YouTube, but I did post the deck profile on Magic Spectre Duelist. If you're in that and you're watching this, that was me.
We got off topic.
Okay, let's ignore everything I just said because who cares? Next card, FA card, or the FA, was that City? That's not City, that's Circuit.
That's Circuit. That's the one that does the main phase.
Yeah, okay. The reason you run this card at 1 is to search your other card. Otherwise, you don't want it.
City's the better one.
Off-Road's the better one. Well, City's the best one.
best one.
If I were to rank them, City's the number 1, Off-Road's number 2, and Circuit is number 3. And that's because Off-Road doesn't really affect you during... Well, Off-Road does affect you during the main phase, and Circuit only does battle phase. And the reason I say that that's more important is because you want your Hang On Mock at a higher attack when you can get it to a higher attack. You want to...
You want it at a higher level, actually.
Well, yeah, higher level. I said that wrong.
The reason why he wants it at a higher level, because during the main phase, if you have... is Circuit, right? Circuit, no, it's Off-Road at the main phase.
Off-Road's main phase, yeah.
If the Circuit, your opponent's main phase is level 7,
it's going to kind of...
stuff.
Yeah, it's going to kind of slow their plays during the main phase. And then, of course, if they decide to enter the battle phase, when they destroy your Hang On Monk, or I guess Auto Navigator if you're doing it that way, they have to discard a card randomly, and that's during the damage step. You can't really stop that, I don't think. So it's a free, hey, take a card from your opponent's hand. You can even play that a little more offensively, because it's just when an FA monster is
destroyed by battle. That means you could literally attack, destroy, make your opponent discard a card.
I'm going to be right back.
Yeah, he's got to go take care of his dog. Let's see. Our next card. Well, after the field spells, we have Metalfoe's Fusion. Of course, we only ran the one Fusion in, and that's just because you get a bounce free card back. Actually, he ended up having a really smart idea about Metal Fusion. Using it to summon his what's the fusion's name? I don't remember.
Mithrilium.
Mithrilium. To summon Mithrilium, shuffling the 2 cards back instead of putting a card back of your opponent's, he would put his own like Abysmigir back to his hand or his driver back into his hand, so he wouldn't get evenly matched on turn 1.
I had an idea to do that play on one game, and I decided I wanted to draw more, and that was when I was facing a Spiral player, I believe. Well, I could have done the play, and I was being extremely dumb, and I overextended, and of course this is game 1, so I'm like, I'm not going to get evenly matched.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, pass turn, standby phase, main phase, battle phase, in a battle phase, evenly matched. And that was just it for me for the rest of that tournament. So I guess that's done with Metalfoe Fusion. City, we already discussed how City's the best one.
Monster Reborn still should have been banned.
It's broken.
Still should have been banned.
Great to special summon your tuner with. It's fucking great to special summon.
Not even special summon your turner. Like, I mean, I know that we're talking about his deck, but I freaking special. I use Monster Reborn to special summon a Mecha buff from my opponent's graveyard.
It needs to be banned.
Too good.
On next to Pot of Desires. Why are we running this card?
Neg 9.
Whatever. Why are we running this card when we have only 2 Hang On Muck and 1 FA Metalfoe? Isn't that going to like dead us if we only have the field spell left? No, because they can search the other field spells, so that's giving you a constant advantage. The second thing is, when you're playing the deck, you kind of want to draw as many Pendulum monsters as you can to get the Electrum play going, and it's just... Desires can give you a 2-scale combo if you need it to. Not always, but it's better. You don't really need 3. There wasn't enough space in this version of the deck. If I were to take something out for Desires, I'd probably take out... That's a hard choice.
I wouldn't take out anything. I think 2 Desires is 2 Desires. But I'm kidding though. Desires is a +1 all the time. All the time. I don't care. You can argue with me all you want. It is a +1. I was just trying to make a joke.
Sorry about that, guys. Oh, ignore those things. My phone's just being difficult, and that's the only way we have to record right now.
At the moment, we're working on getting better quality, guys. We're working on it.
Next card is Metalfoe Combination. Super simple explanation. You use it so you can try and search more Metalfoe cards. Bluff. Same with Counter. Counter is just for backup players.
I personally think Counter was better. In this form of deck, I felt Counter was better than the Metalfoe's Continuous. That's just me.
The problem I had with Counter is I kept running into scenarios where my opponent would either just... They knew where the counter was, so they destroy it that way.
But see, you run multiple than 1, though.
Yeah.
See, if you set 2 counters, they have to get rid of 1.
Yeah.
Then you have the second counter. Or you run 3 counters. The continuous spell, they don't want to destroy that. They want to destroy the counter so you don't get special summon.
The other thing is the best spell trap removal in the game right now is in MST, unfortunately. It's Cosmic Cyclone. Yep. Personally, I don't feel like the card was as good. Combination it helped a lot more in the end for me.
You could still get Cosmic Cyclone.
So let's go ahead and go in the extra deck first, and then we'll go and talk about the side deck. Mithrilium, you use that to, well, try and dodge evenly matched if you can. The second thing is it's spot removal. You get to shuffle back your cards so you can keep playing and return a monster on your opponent's side of the field if you need to. Next is Ancient Fairy Dragon. I actually completely forgot about this card until this guy reminded me about it.
Yes.
Insane. Exactly what I said about you with told you guys about the chronograph plus level 1.
And we don't know. That's why it's banned in the OCG. It's banned in the OCG.
Next is Ignister.
Broken.
Broken. Non-target removal is really good. Next is Omega. Broken.
Omega's not that broken. Not in this build, in my opinion.
Something I liked about this card is that if I banished my counter, or if my opponent decided to banish any of my Metalfoe cards, I could just use the Omega to return it during the standby phase and then keep playing that way. That didn't exactly happen because I'm bad, and I built this deck not as perfect as I could. I really didn't play as well as I could. I lost a couple of games because I made one misplay, and you cannot...
Don't blame it on the misplays.
You cannot misplay in this deck, and I'm blaming it on myself. It's my fault.
You can't misplay in any deck.
I could have prepared myself a lot better, and I didn't. Next is Trish. I'm honestly not going to say anything about that. It's broken.
Trish is Trish. Here, just let me get rid of 3 cards from your grave, hand, and field.
Most important card in my extra deck... Not his, because he didn't use it.
I did use it.
You did
Abyss Dweller.
But did it work?
I never summoned Abyss Dweller, but it would have been really good if I did.
Is like he said, Abyss Dweller. Now, the reason that this card was good was ironically not because of the reason I put it in.
Lightsworns?
Yeah, I put it in because of Lightsworns. I didn't want my opponent being able to activate effects in the graveyard.
But
I wanted to try and prevent them from playing as much as I could. I don't think I lost against Lightsworn. I did play a Lightsworn player and I did win.
I lost against a Lightsworn player. It was really sad.
Yeah, I didn't really have problems with Lightsworn. Actually, I think I might have actually summoned it against the Lightsworn player too.
You know what?
The card came in pretty clutch.
Didn't you summon it against the Spiral player?
I did not summon against the Bug
You
Spiral.
probably really should.
I should have.
Spiral players really rely on the grave now.
Yeah, a lot of cards are, a lot of decks rely on their graves. Abyssal are just, it's a good out, I guess. But the deck that is most memorable for me when I was playing against it is a deck that I see getting a lot of play right now for some reason, and that's Burning Abyss Inferno.
Oh, Burning Abyss Infernoid. I don't like that deck at all.
It was 60 card Burning Abyss Infernoid, and game 1, he did all his plays, he got all his searches and stuff, and he didn't really have much to respond. And I wasn't able to OTK, I was able to get pretty close, but I made a strong board, and then I ended with Abyss Dweller. And he just couldn't do anything, he scooped there. And then game 2, he tried to that grass me, and even though he grassed me, I still won. So
because of
even if you're bad and this deck build isn't as perfect as it could be, this deck is still pretty good.
He also didn't know the deck very well. Like he was saying,
really
like when he was dueling, he's like, I did things with this deck I didn't even know it did.
It was a fun tournament, guys.
It was a fun tournament, you're right.
Cast spell was to get over things like Floodgates, Anti-Spell, it's over to get over...
I still think 101's better. Looks intently into the camera. No, I'm kidding. I like cast spell.
Yeah, cool. It's just to shuffle things back and then get over Floodgates, etc. Next is Baguska. This card I think won me a game too. It's not the most insane card, but it's nice to be able to slow your opponent down. Next is Decode Talker. When we were making this deck, Decode Talker.
There you go. I thought you said something else.
When we were making this deck, we put in Decode Talker, and my initial thought was, why am I running such a trash haul?
The card's actually really good. I summoned it twice when I was playing the heroes in the tournament, and it was really good.
Yeah, I summoned this card too. And
it's generic, that's why it's good.
It's the fact that it's generic. Protecting your cards from being targeted is pretty good. And
never use the effect.
Giving itself so much attack. I actually did use the effect. I loved it.
Just generic.
But giving itself so much attack can be great for OTKing. Next card, Metalfoe's Electrum. Why did we play Metalfoe's Electrum?
Because we're playing Dark Magician.
There you have it, guys.
Because we're playing Dark Magician. Well, what do you guys think of playing Electrum? I wish you would have run it at like 2 or 3, to be honest with you, because we actually had an extra one. We were borrowing an extra one, actually.
We were going to let our friend borrow it because he had asked to borrow it at the beginning, or before the beginning of the regionals.
Yeah.
We found out at the regionals that he didn't need it.
And he already turned his deck list.
Yeah, and no one had really turned in a lot of their deck lists, but unfortunately when I asked to try and change the one card in my deck list, they're like,
nope.
No. That's a no-go, guys.
Yep, that's sad.
Unfortunately.
I think it's because when you open the card packs, you pull the card.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's the reason why.
So we've already talked about Electromite pretty much a lot.
I mean, everyone likes Electromite. If you don't know what Electromite does by now, I'm sorry.
Okay, the next thing is
the best Link monster of all time.
Link Spider actually did come in handy at one point in time. It's, of course, you get to send your you get to send your Pendulum to the extra deck to special summon it, and you get to special summon a free Metalfoe. Who doesn't want a free monster? And then you can go into a Link 2 if you want. And that did help me play around some things. That was pretty nice. Next is Ningirsu. World Chalice Ningirsu.
You can send a, what you want to call it, a Pendulum Scale to the graveyard to use its effect.
Well, not to the grave. It'll resolve sending the extra deck. I had an issue first round. The judge told me that I couldn't send a Pendulum Scale to the extra deck. To send a card to the graveyard on my opponent's side of the field because it can't activate the rest of its cost. And then not even 2 minutes later in the same match, the head judge comes over and he's like, "You can't activate it to send the pendulum."
The head judge has it.
Of course, I already knew this ruling, but I was trying to be trustworthy of the judge, and I wasn't going to disagree with the judge. I wasn't in the mood. I was already in time. It wasn't looking too good because I'd already misplayed two times. Yeah, that was my draw. It was one of my draws. I had already misplayed 2 times that just, I knew I wasn't going to be able to win because of how bad I messed up. I was trying, though. That's why I got a draw.
This is a long video.
This is a long video. It's probably going to be 12, 15 minutes.
Probably. That's okay with me.
We're almost done, guys.
We're trying something new, so.
Okay. So anyways, Ningirsu is insane. Get out. Again, non-targeting removal. It's actually a lot easier to summon than Ignister and Trish. Yes, I watched Dragon Ball. Get into it.
Everyone watched Dragon Ball. Oh, by the way, at the tournament, one of the guys said there's only 2 minutes left of tournament power when there was actually 3 minutes left.
At the end of the regional, Chris goes, "Man, I finally got my top," and I was like, looking a little down. I was like, "At least I know there's only 2 minutes left in the tournament of power."
Then I stopped. I'm like, "Nope, there's 3 minutes."
Okay, next is Proxy Dragon. This is just so you can go into your Ningirsu, play a little bit easier. Go into your Link 3 is a little bit easier. I didn't really use it. I think I used it to summon Ningirsu, and that was literally it. Oh, I can't. Oh, last card is Underclock Taker. That's how I play around things with the Link Spider. Special summon the Link Spider, special summon a Metalfoe, go into
Underclock
Underclock Taker.
Oh my goodness, I love that card.
And then it's if you can summon another monster, which I think I did. I think I used. I actually ended up popping something with one of my Metalfoes to summon off counter, and then etc. etc. Or I might have Pendulum summoned. I can't remember exactly.
Underclock Taker is good for OTKs. Period.
It's a good card.
It is a really good card.
So on to the side deck. Chaos Hunter. So much better than Artifact Lancea in my opinion. The problem that I had with it, the only reason it ended up not working was the fact that my opponent Kaiju'd it. That was pretty sucky, but...
He had the out.
Overall, I think the theory of Chaos Hunter was better than the theory of Lancea.
Yes and no.
It is a little more conditional to summon, but who doesn't special summon, especially in Trickstar, which is what I was citing. You summon your Licorice, okay, pitch, Metalfoes Fusion, special summon.
Kaiju.
Yeah, the Kaiju hurt a lot. Next was Ghost Reaper. Unfortunately, oh no, I did Ghost Reaper once.
And
I Ghost Reapered once.
He wanted to run it at 3. He wanted to run it at 3. I told him it would be completely dead, like in mid-game if you ran it at 3. I told him to run it at 1. How did it do?
Well, I didn't see it most of the time.
I know, but when you
that was actually kind of depressing.
But when you did see it,
it worked, I guess.
It worked.
So basically, there for the Electrum, you can hit a Decode if you want. You can hit Baguska if you want. You know, kind of stuff. Like hit the staples.
Which really doesn't run any.
Next is Jinzo. Why did I play Jinzo?
Because traps are not good.
This card...
Traps are not good. Watch out for traps.
Unfortunately, I lost this match because I didn't play as a little more aggressively game 1. But game 3, I'm pretty sure I Jinzo'd my opponent 3 times in a row. He kept getting rid of it, and I just kept summoning it.
Go, Jinzo,
and,
go!
I can't remember what I did wrong, but for some reason he was able to end with 2 Zephyr Scales. It got into a really complicated play where I had to top deck Wavering Eyes to win.
Top deck Wavering Eyes?
I did top deck Wavering Eyes, so it went a little something like this. I had a Decode Talker. I activated my Boostman Gear to target my Decode Talker to bait him. It worked. Except he used the card to destroy it. He didn't use the negation one. He used the one that you can activate in your hand if you control your Zephyr Scales. And I didn't have anything to tribute to negate. And so I chained Wavering Eyes, and then he had the out, and he won from there.
I hate I love Wavering Eyes, but hate it.
Unfortunately, we're going to have to speed the end of this video up a little bit since my phone's about to die.
MSTs.
That's to out Floodgates. That's just to out Floodgates. Wavering Eyes, Pendulum matchup, Anti-Spell, Pendulum matchup, Solemn for going first. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. We're working on a pretty cool deck profile for him. Hopefully we'll have an awesome list after April 7th.
Yes.
No guarantees.
We are not actually going to show the video until April 7th after that regionals, because I plan on getting like top 4.
He plans
on it.
He's trying really hard. We're not going to guarantee it, but we're trying.
We're going to work for it. It's not going. I don't want to give anything out yet, but it's not going to be meta. It's not, but it's definitely a big anti-meta.
Anyways, final thing is, if you want to be part of our prize winners, our prize thing, we're giving a prize after we hit 50 subscribers. Comment something positive on any of our videos, and you'll get, subscribe and comment something positive on your videos.
And hit that little thumbnail.
And then you'll potentially be able to win a free pack. We're not going to do just Yu-Gi-Oh!
Yeah,
We'll probably do Magic, Pokemon, Dragon Ball. We'll try and email the winner. And
see what they want. Like if they want a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh, a pack of Magic.
And then our employer, Zephyrco, is also suggesting if you don't want the pack, we'll do $5 US in current cryptocurrency.
Cryptocurrency.
I think that's all I have to say for this video. Is there anything else you have to say?
No, except that this video actually gave me more ideas for other videos we can work on. So that's really cool.
Anyways, Fox and Phoenix signing out. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.